guy is awful. I started another new account. Now, I've been playing the game for over 7 years, but so much has changed. And frankly, I'm glad that I'm making this video now because I made a new account 2 weeks ago and so much has changed in Marvel Strike Force in the last 2 weeks, specifically with shop credits, that a lot of the old new player guides are invalid. So this is going to be a part of a series and I'm going to do it day by day. So today I am day 1. I have a bunch more stuff to do today and I probably will finish the day about 30. Other people that have started at the same time as me today have also gotten higher than 25, but 25 is a significant number. You're ahead. Now, if you're a brand new player, I'm going to go over some of this stuff that may not be super obvious. And also, if you're a veteran player, there's a lot of little nuanced things that really jump the count quickly. First is that as soon as you get through the tutorial and you unlock Luke Cage and that, kind of takes you off the autopilot, you hit the hamburger wheel up right here. And the first thing I did is I hit the advanced tab and I turned on some of these options. Quick alliances, access, use reduced combat text, show basic only autoplay option, activate dark dimension tab selection for first run only, download all assets on Wi-Fi. Some of these are optional, but they're very useful. Hide squads with no valid members, combat inactive triggers autoplay and raids after 20 seconds. That one is by default. But item count in Storm, yeah, that's another one. The other thing I did is you can change the music on or off. I like the sound on. More importantly than that, you want to log in with Scopely. And this is kind of important to connect your account to your email and access that on the website. It's kind of a big deal because there's going to be a bunch of bonus stuff by doing that. The most important thing is that this will give you access not only to daily milestones right here, which I've already collected. There's a bunch of milestones because you have to do this every day. But also when you hit the store tab, there's going to be a bunch of freebies every day. And I think there was at least 4 today that I wouldn't have got if I hadn't linked my account to the website with a Scopely ID. More important than that, you click right here, which is going to be your player icon. Then you can go down here and there's this player gift. And this gives you the ability to use new player gifts. And I'm just going to go over the codes that worked for me today because I did a bunch. The first one that I did is Yelena, and that got me the following. And I got to say that we're going to talk about this at length here in a minute, is that there's over 300 characters. I believe there's like over 325 characters, in fact. Not all of them are good. So we're going to be focusing on characters, which I'm going to talk a lot in this video about post-Ares characters, and I will explain what that means later. But the newer characters are much better than the older characters, and then there have been reworks of older characters to go along with new characters on current teams. And right now, the only 2 characters here that are worth upgrading, because there's probably, there's 300 characters, maybe 250 of them are not worth upgrading. I'm just saying you got to be selective because that's kind of how this game works. Ghost and Taskmaster. All right, let's keep going. Code Captain worked. Captain America Sam Wilson, also worth upgrading. Then we had MSF 7. Great. We get some power cores and we got some premium orbs. I did not upgrade these 2. I'll explain why. If you're a veteran player, maybe you want to do Nightcrawler. There's a million exceptions. I'm just telling you that I'm going to be focusing on post-Ares characters, Annihilator team and higher, which we'll explain here in a minute. Red. Also Red Hulk. Not going to upgrade Red Hulk. I might change my mind. Now, the main thing is this. If you go on to my Discord and you type in explanation codes, this will give you a more current list of what is working and also the ability to access a website. This, is tied to Nightbot, and it also works on my Twitch. So if you go to my Twitch chat and you type in explanation codes, or if you go to my Discord and you just go into the general chat and type explanation, Nightbot will respond with you with the most current listing of things that worked. And these did work. And then there's also a website. Not all of them work. And there's also a 120-second lag in between entering codes. So then I went and entered Intel Boost, got that. Then I entered first count champs, got that, and I got the codes. And like I said, by the time that you're doing this, it might be different. Now, this is the most important part of the video. You're gonna get tons of characters. I've been playing, I'm on day 1, I'm at level 25. I've already got over 35 characters, somewhere in there, maybe 40 characters, a lot of characters. And I'm only currently working on 6 of them. This is kind of the probably the biggest tip in the game right now on what to do and how to play the game. Use the codes, that's fine, that's great. But when you click on roster right here, and then there's gonna be a tab right here that says squads. Characters towards the top of this list are gonna be better than characters lower on the list in general. But I wanna draw a line in the sand, and the line in the sand is going to be right here with Annihilator. So there's a character that came to the game called Ares, and he was a single character, standalone character, so he wasn't a part of a team. He wasn't a part of Illuminati, which came before him, and he was not a part of Annihilators, which came after him. But this is the line right here. There was a massive stat increase on characters that came after Ares. So I'm going to talk about post-Ares characters. But if you go into the game and you look at this squad tab, Annihilators and up are going to be better than characters that are below the line. There's always a million exceptions to everything, but if you want to keep it simple, I'm going to say focus only on characters that are on this Annihilators tab and up. And so some of the characters that we got for free when I was going through the codes, like Captain America is there, that's fantastic. There was also some of the characters from the Thunderbolts, Ghost, and Taskmaster. There you go. So that's why I was saying, okay, we're going to focus on these characters and not the other characters. Next, what was the next thing I did is at some point the game is going to start giving you characters as you play through it, and you go through and you finish certain milestones. And the first one that it popped off that was of interest was Punisher. So you're going to be progressing through the campaign nodes. You want to go through them as much as possible. You're also going to want to spend your power cores on campaign energy. On a normal day, you would only do the 50s. So there's this cost associated with refreshing your campaign energy. You can see that I've refreshed it all the way up to the 400s. Normally, you wouldn't do that. Normally, you'd only do the 50s, and after you do the 50s, the cost goes up to 100, and after you do the 100s, it goes up to 200. After you do the 200s, it goes to 400s. But on a normal day, you would only do the 50s. Run, don't walk. This is going to be the best place to spend your power cores, is going to be on campaign energy. And so you're going to progress through the campaigns. You want to go as far as possible. You can see that they're all kind of, there's a tons of things right here. But you're going to start off with Heroes Assemble, then it's going to Villains United, and then at one point, the Nexus is going to unlock. And as you go through here, there's going to be nodes. And some of the nodes are going to have those characters that are post-Ares characters. And my suggestion is that when you finish one of these nodes, now, Punisher is what I call a post-Ares character. If you click on this, you can go hit go, and then you can put a heart next to him. That way, as you go through the game, you're going to want to farm these post-Ares characters on a daily basis. So on day 1, I'll show you the nodes and the characters that I've already hearted. Punisher, Groot, Doctor Strange, Hela, Moon Knight, Juggernaut, War Machine, and Beast. So those are the characters. Like tomorrow on day 2, I'm going to immediately go into the Punisher, and I'm going to hit the find button. The little thing is blocking the way there. I can move that out of the way. Let's see. It's gone right there, but I hit find, and then I scroll all the way over, and you can see I've already done it, but I will be able to do, I think on this particular node, I can do up to 5 a day, and I'm going to want to do that. That's going to become a part of my daily routine. So if this sounds foreign, turn into the next video. I will put up in the top right-hand corner a playlist. So this will be a part of playlist. This will be day 1. We'll make a video on day 2. That way you can get through all of the playlist and see what to do on every day. So, but as far as day 1's concerned, and I'm on level 25, this number might expand by the time I get closer to 30. But for right now, at level 25, those are the characters that I've put hearts on as I go through the campaign. The next thing I wanted to talk about, which I already did, is spending the 50s for campaign energy. I think that's very important. And then two things are going to be turned on, and this is going to be a big friend. There's going to be a 1x button right here. You're going to be able to push that, and it'll toggle between 2x and 3x. Turn the 3x on, and then hit the auto. And what I was saying is that these post-Ares characters are the ones to focus on, and those are the only ones that I was going to upgrade. So the 6 characters that I started off with was Punisher, Groot, Captain America Sam Wilson, Taskmaster, Ghost, and Elektra. I essentially did not upgrade any other characters. If I go into that roster screen, you'll see that they are closer to the top of the list. And my suggestion is to focus on the characters when it comes down here to Annihilators and up. And so those were the 6 characters that got my journey started. They were the only ones that I upgraded, and I pretty much just ignored all the other characters. And this led me down a path where I had 3 villains and 3 heroes, which carried me through the hero part and then the villain part. So Punisher and Groot are heroes. Captain America Sam Wilson is also a hero. Taskmaster, Ghost, and Elektra are villains. What was the next thing I wanted to talk about? So for some reason or another, and this is going to vary, Accursed opened up at level 5 for whatever reason. I'm not sure. And there were 3 nodes that you can go through. But the point I wanted to make by showing this is that the most scarce resource that I'm seeing for new accounts is going to be training materials. And then to a secondary level, I have found that abilities materials like right here, these blue ones and the green ones are also very scarce. So whenever you can come across an option to purchase either training materials or ability materials, you're going to want to jump on it. Go to the web store and collect the free claims. This is probably the most important tip also. Once you've connected to Scopely, you can go in game, and I'll show you where to go. Go into game and you click right here into offers, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom. When you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there'll be this Loki offer right here where it says sign in with Scopely. You click the button and then you'll be awarded the following. Lastly, I wanted to talk about this. You're going to get 50 Ultra Cores for free. And I do think that the correct thing to do with that is to hit daily objectives, hit the strike pass, and then right here it says activate, and you can buy the premium pass for 50 Ultra Cores. Normally that would be a good deal. Now, the way that these work is that they start every other Monday. And so right now, at the time of making this video, it is a Tuesday. You can see that it has 5 days, 18 hours left. If I would have started my account a week ago, then I would have an extra 7 days and this timer would read 12 days. So I think this would be the no-brainer thing to do. I don't know that it makes sense right now because there's only 5 days on the pass. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these 50 Ultra Cores for the second one, which will be starting the following Monday, and then I will buy that then. People that started 4 or 5 days ago, probably this was a no-brainer. The best place to spend the 50 Ultra Cores would be right there. The other thing too is I have 5 days and 18 hours to make a decision on this, and depending how far in this track I get, will determine whether or not I want to buy this or not. Because if I had the full 2 weeks, the full 14 days, I think that this would be a no-brainer. Okay. Also, we're going to talk about this in day 2, but getting an alliance and getting an alliance that is good and getting in a veteran alliance that allows for new players is going to be vital. When you start playing Marvel Strike Force, when you hit level 20, you just get thrown into an alliance and you don't want to stay there. So you're going to want to tune in to day 2 on how to find a good alliance, because being in an alliance that is established is going to be the best way to launch your account forward in an efficient manner. And I think that is the number one thing that accounts get held back by, is by not being in an alliance of like-minded people. And I feel like being in a starter alliance is not a good place to go. The last thing, and we'll wrap up the video here, is that when you hit level 25, tons and tons of things open up in the event section. We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's video, but for now, you're going to have access to 2 stores. When you hit level 25, you're going to have access to the Blitz store and the Raid store, and this is kind of a big deal. In the Blitz store remains the same every day, and there's some characters that are post Aries that you're going to want to tag. And what I mean by tag is when you click on the character, you can toggle this right here. And so the characters that I'm going to be doing on every 8 hours, I'll go in and I'll be spending the shop currency on. You can see right here I have 2 hours and 20 minutes. This store refreshes every 8 hours, and every 8 hours I'll be coming in here and I'm buying Jean Grey, Ancient One, Gore. Scroll down a little bit more. Silver Surfer. Where's the next one? I know there's a Scarlet Witch, and I think that's it. Oh, Electra. And you can see that I've gone in and put the little tag. That way, the next time I go through, it'll be easy to identify them. We're going to do the same thing on an every 8-hour basis in the Raid store as well. The problem here is that it changes every day. So like in this particular run, there was Emma Frost, Scientist Supreme, and I believe that's it. But I will go through it with you right now. So if I click on the orbs right here, and I hit the Raid orb, which is down here at the bottom, right? We're going to go all the way down to the bottom to the Raid orb. And we're going to hit the I button, and then we're going to look at the random shards in here, and we're going to go and identify all the post Aries characters. So we've got Emma. We've already got the little marker on her there. Let's keep going. Hercules. So we're going to put the little flag or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what that's called. Technically, Ironheart's a reworked character, and she's post Aries. Let's keep going down the list, and we're going to identify all of them right now, because once you've done them, we got Scientist Supreme. Rocket is also a part of this, so we're going to tag that on Rocket, so when it comes through, it'll be easy to identify. And I believe that's it. I may have left some things out that are not showing up here. So why don't we click right here, see if there's any more. I don't think I missed any, but every time we come into this Raid store on every 8 hours, we're going to be looking for those characters that I've tagged. And once I put that little marker on them, it's going to be super easy to find them going forward, right? And so it doesn't auto buy them. No, it does not auto buy them. Absolutely not. It just shows up right there. It's not an auto buy. All right, more to come. This is just day 1. We'll talk about alliances and events and what I'm going to be due on the next day. Bye for now.